The Mariana Research Station hung like a pearl in the endless dark, its reinforced windows gleaming under the pressure of 11,000 meters of ocean. Dr. Maya Chin pressed her forehead against the cold glass, watching the bioluminescent creatures dance in the abyss. After 3 years studying deep-sea ecosystems, she thought she'd seen everything the trenches could offer. She was wrong. The first sign came as a fluctuation in the station's thermal readings. Maya was reviewing data from their latest collection when the monitors spiked, showing a massive heat signature moving through the trench. It wasn't volcanic. The pattern was too regular, too controlled. "Dr. Chen, you need to see this." Sarah Martinez, her assistant, called from the observation deck. "The probes are picking up some kind of crystalline structure. It's huge." Maya rushed to the monitors, her heart pounding. The sonar mapping revealed a geometric form that had no business existing at these depths, a dodecahedron nearly 30 meters across, its surface adorned with patterns that pulsed with their own light. "Get me a suit," Maya ordered, already moving toward the airlock. "And call topside. Tell them we're investigating an unknown structure of possible artificial origin." Sarah grabbed her arm. "Maya, protocol says we should wait for." Protocol wasn't written for first contact. Maya cut her off, her dark eyes fierce with determination. "Whatever this is, it's active, and it's here now. We might not get another chance." The next 30 minutes were a blur of preparation. Maya's hands moved automatically through the checklist as she suited up, her mind racing with possibilities. The pressure suit was a marvel of engineering, allowing relatively normal movement even under extreme conditions. She'd need every advantage it offered. As Maya descended toward the structure, her helmet lights caught flashes of something moving across its surface, a liquid metal that flowed like mercury but glowed with an inner light. The patterns it formed weren't random. They were responding to her presence. "Getting this, Sarah?" Maya's voice was steadied despite her racing pulse. "Crystal clear, Doctor. The metal. It's not like anything in our database. Temperature is stable at 4 degrees Celsius, but it's generating its own electromagnetic field." Maya reached out toward the surface, her gloved hand hovering just inches from the flowing metal. The pattern swirled toward her, forming complex geometries that seemed to mirror her suit's own systems. "I'm going to attempt contact," she announced, pressing her palm against the structure. The metal responded immediately, flowing up her arm in a controlled stream. Maya forced herself to remain still as her suit's sensors screamed warnings. The liquid didn't breach her suit. Instead, it seemed to be reading it, learning from it. Then the structure began to open. Segments of crystal folded away like the petals of an impossible flower, revealing the chamber within. The liquid metal flowed back, forming a path, an invitation. "Maya, your vitals are spiking." Sarah's voice crackled with concern. "Maybe we should." "No," Maya breathed, taking the step forward. "We're making history here." Inside the chamber, gravity shifted. Maya found herself standing normally despite being sideways to the ocean floor. The walls pulsed with light, and in the center stood a figure that defied explanation. It was humanoid but clearly alien, its form wrapped in the same liquid metal that covered the structure. As Maya watched, the metal parted around what seemed to be a face, revealing features that were both familiar and utterly foreign. Large, multifaceted eyes studied her with obvious intelligence. "Your kind adapts quickly," the being spoke, its voice somehow carrying through the water without sound waves. "Most species flee at first contact." Maya straightened her spine, acutely aware that she represented all of humanity in this moment. "We're explorers," she replied. "Understanding the unknown is what we do." The alien's metal coating rippled with what might have been amusement. "Then understand this, explorer. My name is Zixra, and I carry both a gift and a challenge for your species. Your medical technology. Show me how it works." Maya blinked behind her visor. Of all the possible first contacts she'd imagined, she hadn't expected a request for a medical demonstration. "You want to know about our medicine." "Your species is young," Zixra replied, But your solutions are unique. This coding you see is failing. My people are dying. Prove to me that humanity's worth saving, and perhaps we can save each other. The liquid metal around Zixra flickered, revealing glimpses of deteriorating tissue beneath. Whatever this being was, they were sick, possibly dying. Maya's scientific curiosity warred with caution, but in the end, there was only one choice she could make. The Mariana Research Station's medical bay was never designed for xenobiology. Maya watched as Zixra's liquid metal coating rippled against the containment field, its patterns growing more erratic by the hour. Behind her, a team of hastily assembled experts argued over data streams that threatened to overwhelm their systems. The metal isn't just a protective coating. Dr. James Wong, their materials specialist, pointed at a molecular scan. It's a symbiotic organism. The patterns we're seeing, they're dying. Maya pressed her hand against the field, watching as the metal responded to her presence. In the 3 days since first contact, she'd learned to read its movements like a language. Right now, it was screaming for help. Zixra, she called softly. We need to know more. The metal. You called it a gift. What did you mean? The alien's multifaceted eyes shifted, refracting light in complex patterns. We called it the confluence. A living metal that bridges the gap between organic and synthetic life. It sustained our civilization for millennia, until the plague came. The word plague sent a ripple of unease through the observation room. Maya could feel the weight of a dozen stares on her back. They'd all seen the reports. The metal wasn't just failing, it was evolving. Every hour brought new mutations, new patterns of behavior that defied analysis. Show them. Zixra continued, their voice carrying that strange harmonic quality that seemed to bypass normal sound. The liquid metal peeled back, revealing more of their true form. The sight made Maya's breath catch. Beneath the metal, Zixra's body was a marvel of bioluminescent tissue and crystalline structures. But scattered throughout were dark patches, areas where the plague had taken hold. The metal was the only thing keeping it contained. Your species, Zixra's voice held a note of desperation now. You've survived diseases that should have destroyed you. Your bodies adapt in ways we never could. The confluence recognized this. It's why I was sent here. Maya turned to face her team. We need to stop thinking of this as either biological or technological. The metal, the plague, they're both. She pulled up their latest scans. Look at how it interfaces with Zixra's nervous system. It's not just protection, it's communication. Dr. Wong leaned forward, his eyes widening. The patterns, they're not random. They're trying to rewrite themselves based on human DNA sequences. Our immune response, it's learning from us. That's impossible, Dr. Sarah Martinez interjected, but her voice held more wonder than doubt. The computational power needed to model human immunology in real time. Impossible is what we do here, Maya reminded them. She turned back to Zixra. But we need to understand the risks. This plague, could it affect humans? Zixra's form shifted, the metal flowing to create complex geometric patterns. The plague targets the bond between host and confluence. Without the metal, your species would be immune. But if we succeed, if we can adapt your resistance into the confluence, the potential goes beyond saving my people. The implications hit Maya like a physical force. A living metal that could interface with human biology, enhanced with humanity's natural resilience. The medical applications alone were staggering. A sharp alarm cut through her thoughts. The containment field fluctuated as Zixra's metal coating began to pulse rapidly. The degradation is accelerating, Dr. Wong announced, his fingers flying over the controls. The play is adapting faster than the metal can compensate. Maya made a decision. Lower the field. Dr. Chen, Sarah's voice was sharp with warning. Protocol. Will get us all killed. Maya cut her off. The field is interfering with the metal's ability to adapt. We need direct contact to understand how it interfaces with biological systems. She stepped forward as the field dropped, extending her bare hand toward the writhing metal. Zixra watched her with those impossible eyes, understanding passing between them without words. The metal was cool against her skin, its touch sending tingles of electricity through her nerves. Maya gasped as patterns of light raced up her arm, the metal reading her at a cellular level. Remarkable, Dr. Wong breathed, watching the readings spike. The metal is mapping her entire genetic structure in real time. The processing power involved. Maya barely heard him. She was lost in the sensation of the confluence, feeling it learn and adapt. Through it, she could sense Zixra's consciousness, their fear, their hope, their desperation. She turned to Zixra. But you need to trust us completely. The nanites will need direct access to your core biology. No barriers, no protective layers. Total integration. The alien was still for a long moment, their metal coating swirling with complex patterns that reflected their internal struggle. Then, slowly, they nodded. My people named me Pathfinder, Zixra said softly. I never understood why until now. The next hour was a blur of preparation. Maya's team worked with desperate efficiency, preparing the largest batch of nanites they'd ever attempted. The liquid metal coating around Zixra began to pulse with increasing frequency, as if sensing what was to come. Outside, the storm grew stronger, and satellites tracked the massive alien ships as they began their final approach. Humanity's first contact was about to become a full-scale encounter, ready or not. Maya stood before the containment chamber, holding the injector that contained their last hope. Inside, billions of nanites waited, encoded with the essence of human adaptability. Behind her, screens showed the approaching ships, their crystalline surfaces reflecting lightning from Earth's atmosphere. Whatever happens, Zixra spoke, their voice carrying that strange harmony that still sent shivers down Maya's spine. You have proven that humanity is capable of more than we imagined. The confluence chose wisely in bringing me here. Maya met those alien eyes, seeing in them the same drive to explore, to understand, to survive that drove her own species. We're about to prove a lot more than that, she said, and pressed the injector home. Time seemed to crystallize in the moments after the injection. Maya watched as the nanites entered Zixra's system, their presence visible as threads of silver light racing through the alien's bioluminescent tissue. The confluence responded immediately, its patterns shifting from chaos into new, unprecedented formations. Vital signs are fluctuating. Dr. Martine is called out, her voice tight with tension. The confluence it's changing at the molecular level. On the screens above them, the Ark ships continued their descent, their massive forms now visible to the naked eye as bright points of light in the storm-darkened sky. Military channels buzzed with chatter as defense systems worldwide tracked their approach. Zixra convulsed suddenly, their form blazing with internal light. The confluence erupted into patterns Maya had never seen before, geometric shapes that seemed to fold through impossible dimensions. Warning alarms screamed as energy readings spiked off the charts. The nanites are replicating exponentially, Dr. Wong reported, his fingers flying over the controls. But it's not random. The confluence is directing them, reshaping them. This is beyond anything we predicted. Maya pressed her hand against the containment field, her heart pounding. Zixra, can you hear me? The alien's response came not in words, but in waves of light that pulsed through the confluence. The patterns were familiar somehow. Maya gasped as she recognized them. They'd matched human neural patterns, but orders of magnitude more complex. It's working, she breathed. The confluence isn't just accepting the nanites, it's using them to translate between our species at the cellular level. A new alarm cut through the air. The Ark ships had entered the upper atmosphere, their crystalline surfaces blazing with re-entry heat. They were out of time. Then Zixra spoke, their voice carrying new harmonics that made the air itself vibrate. The bridge is formed. Your adaptation, your resilience. The confluence understands now. Before their eyes, the dark patches of plague began to recede. The liquid metal flowed with renewed purpose, its patterns now incorporating structures that echoed human DNA. It wasn't just fighting the plague, it was rewriting the rules of the infection itself. Incoming transmission, Martinez announced suddenly. The ARC ships are broadcasting on all frequencies. The message that filled their screens was unlike anything human technology had ever produced, a symphony of light and data that the confluence in their lab responded to immediately. Zixra's form straightened, their eyes blazing with hope. The Council seized the change. They translated. The Confluence Network is already spreading the cure through the stasis systems. My people, they're waking up. Maya's team watched in awe as the ARC ships altered their descent trajectories, their massive forms moving with impossible grace. They were no longer falling. They were flying, seeking out designated landing zones across Earth's oceans. But with hope came new challenges. Reports flooded in from around the globe as governments struggled to respond to the arrival. Fear warred with curiosity, and voices of both welcome and warning filled the airwaves. Dr. Chen, a new voice cut through the chaos. General Sarah Carter, Earth Defense Command. We need answers fast. These ships are carrying millions of unknown aliens. How can we be sure this cure isn't a prelude to something else? Maya looked at Zixra, seeing in their alien features the same mix of fear and determination she felt. The confluence around them had stabilized into new patterns that combined the best of both species' attributes. Because they're not unknown anymore, Maya replied firmly. The confluence doesn't just cure, it communicates. What we've created here is more than medicine. It's a bridge between our species, built on the foundation of what makes humanity unique. Our ability to adapt, to change, to grow stronger through cooperation. She pulled up the data from their experiment, showing how the human-enhanced confluence was already transforming both the nanites and the alien biology it touched. We're not just saving them. We're evolving together. The implications were staggering. The confluence, enhanced by human adaptability, could revolutionize everything from medicine to computing. But it would only work if both species chose to embrace the change. Zixra moved to Maya's side, their presence somehow both alien and familiar now. The confluence between them pulsed with shared purpose. My people stand ready to share all we know, they announced, their voice carrying to all channels. The confluence has shown us that isolation breeds stagnation. Evolution demands exchange. Above them, the ARC ships settled into Earth's oceans, their crystalline forms extending structures that echoed both alien geometry and human engineering. The storm was passing, and in its wake, the dawn of a new era broke over the horizon. Maya looked at her team, seeing in their faces the same mix of exhaustion and exhilaration she felt. They had done more than save a species. They had proven that humanity's greatest strength lay not in technology or force, but in their capacity to reach across the vastness of space and find common ground with the unknown. Well, she said, allowing herself a small smile, I guess we better prepare for a lot more first contacts. 1 month after the arrival of the ARC ships, the Mariana Research Station had transformed beyond recognition. What was once a simple deep-sea facility now served as the primary interface between human and alien sciences. The confluence flowed through its expanded chambers like living art, its patterns telling the story of two species learning to grow together. Maya stood in the new observation dome, watching teams of human and alien scientists work in perfect synchronization. The confluence had evolved beyond its original purpose, becoming a medium of both communication and creation. Through it, humans could interface directly with alien technology, while the visitors gained access to humanity's unique cognitive patterns. The latest results from Sydney just came in, Dr. Wong announced, his lab coat now permanently stained with the iridescent traces of confluence interaction. The medical applications are exceeding our wildest predictions. Terminal cancer patients are showing complete remission after targeted confluence therapy. Maya nodded, her own thoughts flowing through the network of shared consciousness that the enhanced confluence made possible. She could sense Zixra's approach before they entered the room, their presence in the network as familiar now as her own reflection. "Your species continues to surprise us," the alien said, their form now wrapped in a confluence layer that seamlessly blended organic and synthetic patterns. "We thought we were bringing you salvation, but you have transformed our understanding of evolution itself." The screens around them displayed data from around the world. The Ark ships, now permanently anchored in Earth's oceans, had become centers of unprecedented technological and biological exchange. The plague that had threatened to destroy Zixra's people was now being studied as a tool for controlled evolution, its aggressive properties harnessed to speed beneficial adaptations. "The Council has reached a decision," Zixra continued, their multifaceted eyes reflecting the flowing patterns of the confluence. "We wish to propose a permanent alliance, not just scientific exchange, but true integration of our societies." Maya turned from the windows, feeling the weight of the moment. "There's still so much fear out there," she said quietly. "On both sides. The confluence makes communication possible, but understanding, that takes more time. Time we now have, thanks to you." Zixra gestured, and the confluence around them formed into a complex display. "Look at what we've already achieved together." The display showed scenes from around the globe. In hospitals, confluence-enhanced healing chambers accelerated recovery from injuries that once would have been fatal. In research centers, human creativity combined with alien precision to solve problems that had haunted both species. And in schools, children of both races learned together, their natural curiosity bridging gaps that adults found daunting. But it was the deep-sea developments that truly showcased their potential. The confluence had made it possible to adapt humans for underwater living, while Earth's marine ecosystems provided new insights into biological adaptation that benefited both species. New cities were growing in the abyssal plains, their architecture a stunning blend of crystalline alien geometry and organic Earth-inspired forms. "We're receiving a priority message from the lunar outpost," Dr. Martinez called out. The screens shifted to show a stunning sight, the first hybrid vessel, built using combined human and alien technology, preparing for its maiden voyage to the stars. "The deep sea prepared us for space better than we knew," Maya mused, watching the ship's confluence-enhanced systems power up, learning to adapt to extreme environments, to bridge impossible gaps. "To trust the unknown," Zixra finished. "Your people taught us that evolution isn't just about survival. It's about reaching beyond what you are to become something greater." A soft chime indicated another arrival. Dr. Wong pulled up the data and let out a low whistle. "The first generation of hybrid children are showing unprecedented development. Their ability to interface with the confluence is completely natural, and their cognitive patterns show aspects of both species." Maya finished, unsurprised. "They're the bridge we've been building toward all along. Not just adaptation, but true evolution." She stepped closer to the window, placing her hand against the cool glass. Below, the darkness of the ocean was broken by streams of bioluminescence, natural sea life moving in harmony with the confluence patterns that now threaded through Earth's oceans. It was beautiful, this blend of the familiar and the impossible. "When you first arrived," Maya said to Zixra, "you asked us to prove humanity's worth. I think we proved something more important. That worth isn't measured in technology or power, but in the capacity to grow, to change, to reach across the void and find connection." The aliens' response came both in words and in patterns of light that danced through the confluence around them. "And in doing so, you showed us that true evolution isn't about becoming stronger or smarter. It's about becoming more than we are while remaining true to who we were." Outside, the ocean continued its eternal dance, now playing host to two civilizations learning to move as one. Above, the stars beckoned, no longer distant and cold, but full of possibilities. And throughout it all, the confluence flowed, carrying the combined dreams of two species who had discovered that the greatest frontier wasn't space or science, but the endless capacity to adapt, to learn, and to grow together. Maya smiled, feeling the pulse of human and alien minds working in harmony through the network. They had done more than save a species or advance technology. They had proven that evolution's true edge wasn't in competition, but in cooperation, in the willingness to reach across the boundaries of the known and find something greater on the other side. The future stretched before them, as vast and deep as the oceans that had brought them together. And in that future, the line between human and alien, between organic and synthetic, between what was and what could be, grew ever fainter, replaced by something far more profound, the endless possibility of what they could become together.